out would make people less inclined to visit India and go to other places instead, like Sri Lanka or the Maldives and places around there, because it's just too much hassle. But now it turns out that Brits may soon be able to get their Indian visas on arrival, Indian ministers have said. Indian television network NDTV has reported that the Ministry of State for Culture and Tourism has asked the Home Minister to add UK, China, Spain, Italy and France to the list of 43 countries that currently qualify for the scheme. A senior official was reported to have said, "We don't see much problem in these countries." Loosely translated, I think, these are quite important countries for tourists coming in our way. We made a slight boo-boo, but that's just my opinion. The report comes following, as I said, last week's announcement by the Finance Minister that 150 countries would be added to the scheme in phases. Does getting a visa put you off travelling somewhere? It's not often that you need a visa when you've got a UK passport, but there are countries that need them, like Namibia. That was a bit of a pain for me when I went to Namibia to get the visa. You drop the stuff off, then you have to go back the day they tell you to, at the time they tell you to. I was an hour and a half early. They didn't give it to me an hour and a half early. They waited until bang on 3 o'clock before they got the visa and my passport out of the cupboard and gave it to me. That does put you off visiting places, I have to be honest. What about you? What's your experience of getting visas? Piece of cake, or have you had trouble similar to my one with the Namibians? And let me know. Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. The driver of a ski trip coach that crashed in France, killing a teacher and injuring several children, has been found guilty of manslaughter. Derek Thompson, who's 49, was driving a group on a ski trip organised by by tour operator Interski when the coach flipped on its side on a motorway embankment in the Champagne-Ardenne region of France. A teacher, 59-year-old Peter Rippington from Worcestershire, I sound American now, can't pronounce Worcestershire, the Alve Church Middle School was killed and several pupils were injured in the accident, which happened in the early hours of 19th of February 2012. Earlier in the court hearing, prosecutors said that Mr. Thompson had told police he may have dozed off at the wheel. Thompson was given a 6-month sentence suspended for 5 years. Lawyers at Irwin Mitchell, a name I mention a lot, unfortunately, on this show, representing 25 injured passengers, says it now intends to press the tour company Interski to admit a liability, reported the Daily Mail. Thomas Cook is challenging claims by holidaymakers that hygiene standards were responsible for a stomach upset outbreak at a 5-star resort. Travel lawyers, Irwin Mitchell, mention them a lot, are investigating that the resort in Turkey, the Parisha resort, after more than 40 people said that the holidays in August 2013 had been ruined by illness suffered by them or their family members. Some of the customers claim that they saw flies around the food in the restaurant, as well as old food topped up on freshly cooked food. Well, flies on food is quite common in hot areas, isn't it? Some also allege that the pool toilets were not properly cleaned once people became ill. Thomas Cook has confirmed that a small number of customers staying at the resort had reported a stomach upset, but said there was no evidence of health and safety concerns. A spokesperson said that following an extensive investigation, the cause of the illness remains unknown, although there is no evidence to suggest that it was caused by any shortcomings in the health and safety practice at the hotel. We are unable to provide further comment so as not to unduly influence any future legal proceedings. Thomas Cook has been contacted by a law firm representing some customers who stayed at the Parisha resort in 2013. We are aware that the law firm has put out a press release containing serious and, at present, unsubstantiated allegations regarding the illness. The tour operator said that the hotel management immediately put into place internationally recognised Prevention of Spread of Infection, or POSI, procedures. He added that new arrivals were moved to alternative hotels, customers in resort were offered assistance by its resorts team, and customers returning to the UK were contacted. A spokesperson for Irwin Mitchell said, "We are investigating the cause of illness which has affected many people who stayed at the Parisha Hotel in Turkey." Thomas Cook has denied liability for the illness and indicated that they believe that the good health and safety and health and hygiene procedures were put in place at the hotel. We would like to hear from other holiday makers who suffered illness at the resort who have information on the standards at the hotel. So this is a shout out for more people who may be able to help with the investigation. I best spell the name of the hotel, seeing I'm not very good at pronouncing it. It's Sentido and Perissa. But I'm sure if you went to the Irwin Mitchell website, you'd probably find the details about the claim as well. Have you had an upset stomach when you've been away on holiday? Did you sue? Did you get anywhere? I've mentioned before my very first long-haul holiday, which was to Mexico. Practically the whole hotel were ill, and the rep there for the travel company said, "Oh, it's just because you're not used to the heat. Oh, it's because you've been drinking too much," and all this, that, and the other. But I'm pretty sure it's probably the food hygiene for everybody to be wiped out. But I was too inexperienced in travel to know that I could have done something about it. Well, I know for next time, but I've never stayed anywhere that bad again, so there we go. But anyway, if you've ever had illness when you've been on away on holiday and you've put a claim in and you've been successful, or you haven't, but you want to share the story anyway, facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Are you Apple or Android? I used to be Apple, and then I saw this nice Samsung phone with a pen and stuff. I've gone over to Android, and there's plenty of travel apps on Apple which you can't get on Android, which is a shame. So I wish I could probably be the sort of person who would carry one of each around with me all the time to make sure I have all the apps I need when it comes to travel, and the better quality phone, which is the Samsung. But anyway, if you're Apple and you're into Apple bits and bobs, you will know about the new Apple Watch. I'm a bit nonplussed about it because of the battery life, although I do like flashy watches. But if you are going to get yourself a Apple Watch, here is a little bit of news for you. Qantas has become the latest airline planning to release an app for the new Apple Watch when it comes out in the UK in April. Other carriers such as EasyJet have already announced that they will be offering an app. It's coming out at the end of April, about April the 24th. The Qantas app will send wearers notifications about gate changes, where to collect their luggage, and other flight information. The device will also relay any messages sent to a customer's smartphone app to the Apple Watch, as long as the phone is in their pocket or their carry-on luggage. Qantas Executive Manager of Customer and Commercial, Steve Limbrick, said, We have worked closely with Apple, and this announcement builds on Qantas's existing use of the company's technology. We are very excited to be adding this new technology to the other innovations we have recently launched, such as auto check-in, which allows customers on our domestic services to check in on their flight via SMS in just 3 clicks. Although I've used plenty of travel apps when it comes to planning and researching holidays, I've never actually used them at the airport. What about you? Can you not live without using your airline app? What's your favourite? Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Let us all know. A little bit of good news for you, those of you who have kids and you're planning to travel away for the Easter holidays or later on in the year, and you're looking at flying from Heathrow. Children are now able to travel free on the Heathrow Express. The airport train service has run its Kids Go Free offer in the past for limited periods of time, but from the 27th of March, as the Easter holidays begin, it is becoming a permanent fixture. It's part of the company's plans to increase the number of leisure travellers using the 15-minute service. Nothing increases leisure users more than giving it for free, I guess. The Kids Goes Free offer applies to children under 16 when they're accompanied by a parent or guardian. Fraser Brown, director of Heathrow Express, said, As many parents know only too well, some travel organisations tend to charge families with children more, not less, during the school holidays. We are doing the opposite. 2/3 of the people who use our service are travelling on business. We want to encourage more leisure passengers, families in particular, to use our service. Allowing children to travel free at all times from now is a key part of doing this. As well as making things easier for hard-working families heading abroad for a break, we want to welcome more families visiting Britain from overseas. Heathrow Express did top the Autumn National Rail Passenger Survey, published by Customer Focus, with a 94% for overall satisfaction. For those of you who are not sure what this is, it's a non-stop train service between Paddington Station and Heathrow. With its electric trains taking 15 minutes every 15 minutes, it is the fastest, most reliable and most sustainable way to travel to and from Britain's hub airport. Well, as this press release has been released by Heathrow Express, they would say that, wouldn't they? Gordon Innes, Chief Executive of London and Partners, the official promotional organisation for the capital, said, "London is the most visited city in the world and plays host to millions of families each year. It is great news that Heathrow Express are making visiting the capital even more affordable for families travelling with children." Do you enjoy using the Heathrow Express because it doesn't have kids on it? Are you not looking forward to the extra children? There's always a flip side to stories. Let me know your thoughts. Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Well, we've reached the end of another travel show. I hope you found the information that Chris shared about the National Museum of Computing interesting. I know I did, but I explained at the beginning of the show, I am a geek at heart, so I thought it was great. I hope that it's inspired you to go and have a visit there, especially over Easter with all the special activities. As I mentioned in the travel news section, if you've been ill on holiday, did you take it further? What was the outcome? Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show to share your story, and use the same Facebook page if there's any particular destination or activity travel-wise that you want to find out more about. I'll get a guest onto the show and talk about it. And I hope you can join me next week on the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org, where each week I'm checking it out before you check in.
MK Pulse proudly sponsors Seclo Sounds. MK Pulse is Milton Keynes' local magazine, bringing helpful information on food, health, fashion, money, travel, culture and much more to 84,000 people every month. Plus news, views and what's on from around the city. If it's happening in Milton Keynes, it's in MK Pulse and it's available online at www.mkpulse.co.uk. MK Pulse and Seclo Sounds, the heart and soul of the city.